Happy Monday. Welcome back to another video. Now today I want to talk about nice guy syndrome. We're going to discuss what is nice guy syndrome and do you have nice guy syndrome? And if you do, how do you overcome nice guy syndrome? Now, for most of my life, I've had nice guy syndrome and I wasn't even aware of it. It all started back when in my first marriage, back in 2012. I was a very supplicating man. I was unrecognizable from the man that I am today, right? So much has changed. But back in the day, I was a pushover. I was afraid to assert my will. I was afraid to assert my opinion in response to her criticism. So if I were to, act a certain way, if I were to, oppose her views, she would get angry. And that anger would it would affect me. It would affect my self-worth. Now, this is typical nice guy behavior. Nice guys are afraid to assert their opinions because they're afraid of the disapproval of somebody else. Now, this is specifically why you find girls are attracted to bad guys, because bad guys are unapologetically themselves. Like, no matter what, they're going to act like themselves. They're not going to try to, soften their views to try to win the approval of women. No, bad guys are just unauthentically themselves. And because of that, women are attracted to that because women can feel safe around that type of energy. They can trust that type of energy. Let's just put it to you that way. I don't know about safe, but they can trust that type of energy. Now, nice guys are manipulators. They're liars. They want to cover up their mistakes. They don't want to seem like they have problems because they're afraid of the disapproval of women. So look at yourself. Do you have any qualities that resemble nice guy syndrome? Are you afraid to assert your opinion because somebody might disapprove of you? Now, how do we develop nice guy syndrome? We develop nice guy syndrome from early childhood. If we didn't get a strong role model as a father growing up, or if we watched our father supplicate to our mom, all the behaviors are learned, right? Now, because these behaviors are learned, we can then change our psychology. And it's actually not that difficult to change. Now, going back to some of the other videos, I talked about, self-respect. I talked about the power of awareness. I talked about a lot of different things in the span of a week. Now, if you just focus on some of the things I've talked about, like building self-respect, building your confidence, staying consistent, taking actions every day, you're on your way to overcome nice guy syndrome. Because what's going to happen is when you develop so much self-respect, now you can stand up for yourself. It doesn't matter what the girl says. It doesn't matter what her opinions are. You can stand up to her and it's not gonna affect you. Now, obviously we're human, and if somebody disapproves of us, it can sting a little bit. If somebody opposes our views, it can, we're not fucking robots, right? But the difference between, a confident, self-assured person and a nice guy is the nice guy, if they get disapproval, they go into just straight up collapse. Like they collapse, they can't deal with it, they can't deal with the pain. And it's because they value other people's opinion over themselves. They don't have enough internal resources to say, hey, you know what? That person doesn't agree with me, but I still love myself. I have a lot of great qualities. Knowing what you bring to the table in a relationship, or just knowing what you bring to the table in any situation, is your key to power. Now, if somebody disapproves of what you have to say, it doesn't really matter because you're confident in who you are, you have self-respect, and because you have self-respect, you're not going to let the opinions of others diminish that self-respect. So it's what you call internal locus of control. Your focus is now directed inwards, and you're controlling your outside world by your internal focus. All right? And that's a very powerful thing to think about. Most people live life completely focused on external events. Their external events shape their internal reality. Now, if you ever studied Neville Goddard, and I've talked about him before, it's all about shifting the internal to affect the external. So Successful people in life are people that have lived from the inside out versus the outside in. The masses live from the outside in. The masses are affected by the media, what people say. You know, they're just little fucking sponges to this shit, and they're so affected by it. But a confident, self-assured man, he's going to be focused on the internals. He's going to know himself. He's going to know what he values. He's going to know what he stands for, and he's going to speak that truth inauthentically, regardless or not if somebody respects him or not. He's going to speak that truth. So today I want to challenge you to get very clear on what are your values. What do you want to achieve in life? Also think about, how am I acting like a nice guy with a woman I'm talking to in a certain situation? How am I seeking approval? How can I build this self-respect so that I no longer have to seek approval? And that's the thing, is that because nice guys seek approval from the outside, if they don't get approval, it completely collapses their world, because their whole focus is, if I get approval on the outside, I'm going to be happy. And that is the thing that is robbing so many guys of confidence and of basically letting the woman run their entire life, is that they're focused so much on the external. What is this woman, you know, if that woman disapproves of me, then I'm going to feel so bad. By winning every single day, by creating these small wins, you're going to be on the path to becoming a more rounded man that has self-respect, that has confidence, that when you are ready to get in a relationship with a woman, you're going to have yourself figured out, and you're going to be able to provide and create a great life for the woman that you want to be with, if that's something you want to do. So thank you for watching this video today. Stay tuned for another video.